Hey, and welcome to the Fanatical Browns pregame show. We are the Fanatical Elves Network, part of Fans First Sports Network. I'm John, that's Steve. Welcome aboard. We got the Battle of Ohio. We are live, coming to you on the X, on YouTube, on Facebook. You name it, we're there. I was learning that there's some way that if you follow us on YouTube, I'm hearing that we might get some of those downloads in the future. So we're looking into that. So tune into YouTube as well. Glad to have everybody aboard today. And Steve, how you doing down there in Nashville, where the Jacksonville Jaguars, I believe, are playing the Tennessee Titans? And
yes, they are.
Wondering how that's going to
go. Jags.
Go Jags.
And we found out last night why the Browns really wanted to play the Colts.
Yes.
Woo!
Yes.
And we also found out why we don't want to play the Houston Texans. CJ Stroud is he's good.
Yes. But yeah, I worry about that. And I know some folks will say, well, he's a rookie and the Browns can handle that. And, well, yeah, but, there's something in the NFL, and there's something always, it's like, you get these occasional players, and man, CJ Stroud is just having a heck of a season. And he showcased some of that.
The Carolina Panthers are thinking about
right. Yeah. No,
I bet you they're throwing more drinks at people than anybody else. But anyway.
Right. No, so basically it comes down to this with this Battle of Ohio. The Browns are locked in at the 5 seed. We'll talk about the Battle of Ohio here in a minute. But with Jacksonville playing Tennessee, correct? Is that game in Tennessee?
Yes,
so
it is.
If Jacksonville loses, then we will be traveling down to Houston to play CJ Stroud and the Texans. If the Jacksonville Jaguars win today, then we go to Jacksonville. So it's either Jacksonville or Houston. I think all of us right now, you and I both, would much rather play Jacksonville.
Yes, I would.
We've had success against the AFC South in general, but we've never faced CJ Stroud
under Kevin Stefanski.
Yes, and that hopefully will continue. But I'm nervous about playing Houston. I said that, you and I texted last night. He could be the difference maker for that team, and he certainly has. He's 10-7 this year. Yeah,
he's definitely going to be the AFC Rookie of the Year. I don't see anybody else winning that. I mean,
right.
And again, when they won last night, they made the playoffs, and for like the 30-something, this is really incredible. Yeah. 4 new teams are going into the playoffs for like the 30-something consecutive year. Joining the Browns and the Lions, and I can't think of who else, but it's it's parity. Every year, 4 teams who lost the year before get in the next year. So,
well, we're happy that the Brownies are going in there. I think the other thing with Houston that, and I'm just retweeting our live show here, so please tune in if you're haven't yet. We'd love to have you come along for the ride over the next few minutes. No, I think the other thing that really, we talked about this going into the Houston game when we played them a few weeks ago. And yes, we took care of business and we had a big lead. And actually we had to bring our starters kind of in at the end, but their defense,
backup quarterback.
Yeah, no. And their defense though, played well last night against the Colts. I didn't watch the whole game, but in the stretches that I did, they seemed to be very determined. And any team's going to be determined if the season is on the line. But that game's going to have to go, if we do go down to Houston again, it's tough to win on the road. It's going to be tough to win in Jacksonville or at Houston. Yes, you're laughing.
Joe Flacco is tied for most road playoff wins with Tom Brady. So
yes, talk about that for a minute. How many does he have? I'm
7.
trying to remember.
7.
Okay,
and you got to remember Tom Brady in 2020, when the Bucks won the Super Bowl. They started on the road as a wild card team.
They did.
So and they beat Kansas City in the Super Bowl. So I am, you can sit there, and I notice Casey Kinnaman said, "Can't live in your fears." I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. You cannot live in your fears. I trust this team. I trust this defense.
Yeah.
But first, got to play Cincinnati.
Right.
So,
before we get to Cincinnati, there were some comments, and I mentioned them on my show last night on the Johnny Cleveland podcast. With Jim Schwartz, we kind of touched on it a little bit earlier in the week as well. His comments about, going.
I got some information.
Okay, going for the, potentially a head coaching, or not, leaving it out there on the table. I don't know. What's your information? You want to share that out? Yeah.
Well, of course he's going to say that. I aspire to be a lottery winner. That's why I play the lottery.
Right.
But of course he's going to say that he aspires to be a head coach again. Right now, the trend is going for younger, offensive-minded coaches.
Sure.
And he knows that. Also, he is paid. And, you're not going to find the assistant coaches' salaries anywhere. But I was told he is paid quite a bit to be the defensive coordinator. And Jimmy Haslam will do anything possible to pay him to keep him.
Okay.
So it would have to be the right situation. If Carolina called, he's not going to the Carolina Panthers. He doesn't want to deal with that owner. He doesn't want to deal with a 5'2" quarterback. I mean, come on.
Right.
If the right situation came along, and the only situation I see is like possibly here in Tennessee, if Vrabel leaves, but I talk to people who cover the team here in Nashville, he ain't going nowhere. So,
Well, I guess it was just a little bit. It caught me off guard. I don't know about other Browns fans. I just the fact that he's only been here for a year. I know he needs to say certain things, and I just thought maybe he didn't have to quite say.
Well, of course he's going to say that.
Left the door. Well, okay,
that's the correct answer to say. Of course, I want to be a head coach. That's what everybody wants to be.
Yeah, but in his position,
he's extremely happy.
How old is he? How old is he? Do we know?
He'll be 60 this year.
Okay, so he's not like in his 60s. He's in his late 50s.
I can't believe he's younger than I am.
Well, that's starting to, yes. No, I guess so. We'll find out. I think a lot of fans love Jimmy Schwartz, and we love him, and we think that what he's done
he's not going anywhere.
Change things has really been part of what has driven this team to this point, and it's what's got us all looking forward to making a run in the postseason. So, hey, let's take a quick break. We're kind of still a little bit early in the show. Let's take a break. Then we'll come back. We'll talk about the Battle of Ohio. Plus, we have our giveaway with the MacPack Design Company. They have been in contact with us in the last week, and we are selling some of their products, and we love them, and we thank them. You can go to MacPack Design.
Sweet-looking hoodie right there, buddy.
MacPackDesign.com. And we're going to give away that sweatshirt. They've got tons of Cleveland Browns stuff, David Njoku stuff, Flacco stuff. You'll love it. Take a look at it.
And a good price.
Design.
And a very good price.
MacPackDesign.com. We'll be right back after these commercials. We are back from those tantalizing commercials, scintillating prize commercials.
I'm writing stuff down so I can.
Right. Yeah. Hey, I want to give a shout out to the Odds Chapter Browns backers in Wichita, Kansas, my former group. I know you have your group there in Nashville.
Middle Tennessee Browns backers. I'll be there.
He's raring to go, man. I heard he's got a lot going on here after we get off the podcast here today. But let's talk about the game itself this afternoon. I mean, Browns. I'm always, Browns fans are always excited. By the way, Paul Brown, the most famous traveling Browns fan in the world from England, flew back over here to Cincinnati. Has been partying hard. If you follow him, he's one of our more famous Browns to follow. If you haven't followed him, it's Paul Brown. He's been drinking a lot since yesterday. Tried some peanut butter.
Really?
Peanut butter whiskey, which actually we had some of that over at the Christmas holiday, and I thought it was pretty cool. I liked it, but he was having some issues.
He was
having some issues.
He did have some issues. I'm a purist. I used to work in the liquor industry, so I want my whiskey to actually taste like whiskey.
If
it's got a little caramel and a little burn to it, I'm good.
That's good. I like that. Well, so he's down there with a lot of Browns fans. They're all yapping and hollering, "Go Browns, here we go, Brownies," And so it's going to be a good atmosphere down there. The weather here, I don't know what it's like there in Nashville. We had about an inch of snow this morning here in Columbus, but it's mostly melted off already. We've had a couple bouts of just some wet snowflakes here and there. Sounds like it's just going to be kind of a raw day there. Again, like upper 30s, maybe a little drizzle in the air. So, neither team really has a lot to play for. How do you see this game turning out, and what are your expectations as you look at the game as a whole?
Well, Cincinnati doesn't want to finish 0-6 in the AFC North.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And a few of their players have a little milestones going. I think Jamar Chase is close to 100 catches. I know Joe Mixon is 77 yards away from 1,000. So you're going to see players shooting for that. They probably got bonuses tied to these playing things.
Yeah.
So, and also Paul Brown was on the elevator this morning with Jamar Chase. Did you see
really?
That
No, I did not. Are you kidding me?
Or maybe it was last night. I saw it first thing this morning, the back of Jamar Chase, and Paul said he really didn't want to talk about his contract situation with a drunk. So
well, apparently, he was apparently very, very intoxicated. He admitted that.
Vodka and Mountain Dew will do that to you. God. But anyway,
it's crazy stuff.
But anyway, they are motivated. We're going to find out how much the Browns are motivated to get that 12th win. I don't know. We're going to see a lot of some starters are going to have to play. I mean, people are referring to this as like a preseason game. No, preseason games have 90-man rosters. Yes. You don't have that luxury.
Yes.
So some starters are going to have to play. Besides the 6 who are definitely out, all the other players will dress to be ready. Yeah. I guarantee you Joe Flacco will be the third-string emergency quarterback just in case. God help us. We don't want anything to happen to Jeff Driscoll or PJ Walker.
Will dress? So Joe will dress?
I think he will, yeah. I think he will. He'll be inactive, but be the emergency third string.
Okay.
I'm just guessing.
Okay.
But the Cincinnati Bengals, offensively, they're the worst rushing team in the NFL. They're ranked 32 in offensive rushing. Defensively,
even with Joe Mixon.
Yeah. Well, Zach Taylor doesn't run the ball.
No. Yeah.
You remember last year there was a game they could have made it close.
Yeah, and they threw the ball
they threw
it
the ball
like 60,000 times. Yeah.
Yeah, stupid. But and defensively, they're not that great. I mean, I could see they're 31st overall on defense.
Yeah.
I could see Jerome Ford, if he's playing, and Pierre Strong getting about 150 or more yards on the ground.
You think Jerome Ford plays then? He definitely
I'm not
plays.
sure. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I don't know.
But you got to have more than one running back.
One running back.
Only promoted the kicker and a safety, which tells me they might be resting Ronnie Hickman a little bit.
Well, that's what I was wondering too, because it looks like they're. I know our colleague Elliot was talking about some of the different cornerbacks that might be sitting, and he was trying to figure out which ones are and aren't going to be sitting today, and that Cincinnati will be obviously airing it out. What are your thoughts on that? I don't know who exactly.
Well, if Jake Browning is on his butt, I don't think they have to worry about it. I am very excited.
Who are going to be our offensive? Who are going to be our
by
defense?
The way,
yes.
Okoronkwo is going to see the field a little bit, which makes sense because he hadn't played in 4 weeks.
So Alex Wright probably starts on one side, defensive end.
I love it. He's had a sack in the last 3 games.
Who will be the other defensive end?
You see Sika Ika. You'll probably see Jordan Elliott. You're going to see Isaiah McGuire.
Yes.
So
who's the other edge rusher, though, you think?
Okoronkwo and
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obi-Wan. Yeah, you can take that.
It's just easier.
I know. I am curious to see how the second stringers play. We'll know what Jim Schwartz's influence is.
Yeah.
Right from the get-go. But
well,
like I said, you got to play some starters.
It's really the motivating factor and seeing how players and what motivates them. And I've said this before. I work with kids at the high school level and different sport, basketball, but still, I've coached a lot, and you've probably maybe had some experiences there. It's just really interesting to see how you can get players and even players at the pro level motivated and what's going to drive them today, and are the Browns going to really show up and look for that 12th win? I hope they do. I mean, I think fans don't want to watch a dud of a game today. Obviously, Browns fans are going to be paying attention to seeing what Jacksonville is doing.
That Pittsburgh-Baltimore game last night?
Ugh. I just wish I could. Neither one of those teams would just. My
God.
Okay. So like Pittsburgh, they've got an opportunity to get in, and it's not that far-fetched that they do get in. They just need the Bills or Jacksonville to lose, from what I understand.
Yeah, if Jacksonville and Buffalo win, they're out.
Right. But if one or the other loses, they're in.
Yep. Yeah, they are.
So,
which is amazing to me. But I think they're one and done. Even if they get
if they get in, they would be what? The 7th seed?
TJ Watt hurt his knee last night.
Right. Are they the 7th seed if
they
get
one
in?
Of his own players. What's that?
Are they the 7th seed if they get in?
I believe so. It depends on the Buffalo-Miami game. I know if Buffalo loses, I think they're out.
And then they would maybe travel.
And then you got to compare Pittsburgh and Houston. If Jacksonville wins and Buffalo loses, see, we're getting
yesterday there was a thing on the TV on ESPN or something. It said Pittsburgh. It said if either Jacksonville or Buffalo loses, they go to the playoffs.
Yeah, so, that's their key.
And so they would probably they'd play the 2 seed, which sounds like it could be either the Chiefs or
Miami or Buffalo, I believe.
Yeah. Okay.
I think the Chiefs are the 3. They're locked into the 3 seed.
Yeah.
That's why they're resting all their players.
Yeah. Well,
Buffalo and Miami are playing for the number 2 seed. Miami wins, they're in. Buffalo wins. Miami, I think, still has a shot.
Right.
To make a wild card team. Buffalo loses, they're out. They lose all tiebreakers.
Right. Right. Well, the Browns are sitting pat, and we're all excited as Browns fans. I did want to again give another shout out. We're going to give away our winner right now for our giveaway. So this is Mac Pack Design. So if it's MAC Pack, then PACK Design, DESIN or GN.com, and they've are very kind, and they're giving away some great apparel, Browns apparel. So we want to give a shout out to them, and we have a winner. So we're going to announce that it is, drum roll please. The winner of this really cool playoff Browns sweatshirt is Joe Garnett. It's at Garnett Joe. So it's GARNAAT Joe or JOE. Joe, congratulations. Joe is Joe. UPS driver. He's a Browns fan. He's in all forms of motor sports fan, and he married to the girl that he met in the 4th grade. Congratulations.
Oh, wow.
And if you look at his page, it's filled with all sorts of Browns paraphernalia and great stuff. Looks like he's having a lot of fun supporting our Brownies. So congratulations, and thanks, Joe, for following us here on the Fanatical Elves Network. And you're going to be receiving this awesome sweatshirt from MacPack Design. We'll be in contact with you to get that all set up and shipped out to you. Go Browns. Final thoughts tonight, Steve, before we let you
guys
go?
Who work for UPS. I used to load semis here at the local UPS hub.
It's a job. It's a tough job. I know. I have a cousin up in Cleveland.
I had to learn 389 zip codes for Mississippi and Alabama.
Well, Steve, final takes before we let you go, and people get ready for if they're tailgating or whatnot. Final thoughts on what your thoughts going into this game are. Thoughts and more thoughts and all these thoughts.
I think the Browns have a chance to win this if they stay true to what they've done all year.
Yeah.
I think the offense will be ball control. Let's get into Cincinnati and get the hell out of Northern Kentucky and go home back to Cleveland.
I even saw
no
the Brownies.
Injuries.
The Cleveland Browns website even called it something funny today on their. They described, let's go down and beat down in Cincinnati, Kentucky, or something weird like that.
Well, Cincinnati's the largest city in Kentucky. It's fact.
Really?
Their airport is in Kentucky. Okay, so that's what I go by. But anyway, and then the other identity they have: play good, aggressive defense. If the players execute the game plan on offense and defense, surprise, they could win this game. And the other second factor is Cincinnati head coach Zach Taylor. He's going to do something stupid at least 2 or 3 times this game. Book it, stamp it, because he always does something stupid against the Browns.
Yes. Well, we're all looking forward to it. I think Browns fans are already looking forward to the next week. And then, our nerves won't be shot as much today, but it should be an exciting time. I think just looking at this, and you've talked about it in your show, and I've talked about just, taking it all in, because these things don't always happen. And with this organization and what they've been through over the years, it's rare. Yep. And we're in an area of time and space that is, you should try to enjoy every moment of it. Flacco mania is real. Flacco is just playing out of his mind. We're excited to see what he can do for our Browns. And let's get to that Super Bowl, and let's win that Super Bowl. I'm ready, man. I'm ready like you are. Folks, thanks.
All they got to do is after this game, win 4 games. That's it.
I'm
it.
Happy. Not hard at all. No. I love the jacket. Steve was wearing a jacket that he got way back in the day, and it still fits him.
Over 30 years old, this bad boy is.
Look at that.
I know. I'm wearing it today.
Well, Steve, thanks for joining us. It's awesome. I want one of them, honestly. Steve, to have a great rest of your day. We'll be try to bring a post-game show to everybody later on. Steve, if you're around, love to have you back. Let me know if you're around. I'll be here, and if anybody else want to join me, part of the Fanatical Elves show, and if you want to give us some comments. Ooh, it looks like we've got a few comments here before we let's see.
Oh yeah,
these comments are from here.
Has been on a roll here.
Let me see here. We got this one. Yeah, who is the Godson? That's what
I don't know, but he asked some pretty damn good questions, and he's excited for the game, man.
Let's go, Godson. Yeah, that's right. All right. Well, thank you. We're thank you for all the people that support us here, and we're gaining support. So thanks again. Follow us on Apple, follow us on Spotify, follow us on YouTube, and spread the love. Go Browns. They play in a little bit, so let's get a win today. Let's get that win in the Battle of Ohio. See ya.
Go Browns.